Go download my free legato course right now and learn to play fast in the fastest way possible. Hey, what is sweep picking? Well, for me, there's no such thing as directional picking or economy picking or sweep picking because it's all the same thing. Just think about it. When is it sweep picking and when is it directional picking or economy picking? The only thing that sweep picking is, here's the definition. It's going from one adjacent string to another by using the same type of stroke. We have two types of strokes. We have downstrokes and upstrokes. And if you go from one string to another by just, doing two downstrokes in a row or one downstroke that hits two strings, then you're using sweep picking or the other way around, right? In comparison with alternate picking, which would use a different stroke all the time. That's sweep picking. But then if we do that more than once, on multiple strings, we suddenly see the hand do this, right? And it looks like a sweep. And directional picking, we have three notes often or more in between. We do the string shift. So it doesn't look like a sweep. It looks like cheating. You should be doing alternate picking. We have all these concepts that confuses us. But let's just, define our terms and say that sweep picking is nothing more than the movement from one string to another with two consecutive upstrokes or two consecutive downstrokes, right? And so with that in mind, can we construct, because that's what I'm all about, you know that, can we construct an exercise that takes the challenge, the core challenge of sweep, instead of practicing all kinds of stuff like, 2-1-2 shapes or, excuse me, or arpeggio shapes or whatever. Instead of practicing all of those, then let's take the challenge and home it down to just one exercise. That really takes that challenge. So we don't have to be confused about it, because that's another part. In sweep picking, we think we're good at sweep picking until we take the actual challenge of it and start practicing just that. When we do then it's like, if I can go from here to there with one movement and have that fit the fingers of my left hand, just, at the right tempo, I have to adjust the tempo of my downward strum here, basically, with when I'm, fretting the notes over here, then I can create that one movement, and that's sweep picking. That's a way of trying to, achieve an effect. But you don't really have total control over anything, because sweep picking is not like trying to synchronize in some way the two, because that's just a lick, isn't it? It's just a little, and then you can do, that's fine, you can do, but what if you want to use your sweep picking skills to sequence something? To play all kinds of sequences and take the notes upside down and play like, play 2-1-2 shapes. Where you have two notes on the first, one note, two notes, one note, and two notes on each string. Then you have to use sweep picking on one, then a little bit of alternate picking, then a little bit of sweep picking. Right? And you can't do that if you don't master the essence of sweep picking, which is just going from one string to another using the same stroke. So this exercise will absolutely, and I should say, if you want to have the tabs, the charts for this exercise, then go to my website, guitarmastery.net, and sign up for the free course, which will take you around a couple of different areas of guitar playing for key lessons, which all have tabs or charts to them. Then go do that, right? Register, sign up, and then download or stream the course. You can go watch this video right there instead and look at the tabs as I show you this. Because the exercise is basically, first off, very simply, without using your left hand, let's pick the B string, one downstroke on the B string, and then one downstroke on the E string. Right? So down, down. Right? And then you do it the other way around. This is the essence of sweep picking, right? It's down, down. Onto strings that are just next to each other. Then you do the opposite. You go up, up. right? Then you do the two in connection with each other. Down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up, right? And then you do that in time. So there's exactly the same amount of time in between each note. So take your metronome and go click, 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 click. And this is meditation, because here you get to experience how good you are at sweep picking on a core level, because this is the challenge. And then if you want to put notes to this, you can go, you can take any 2-note per string pattern. So to any, I do the 8th and the 10th fret here on both strings, like in A minor pentatonic. And you start playing like that. And of course it fits the sweep picking pattern. And this is such a central exercise, because it basically takes one sweep picking motion in one direction, and then it takes the challenge of turning that around, which is what you need to do when you do sweeping, right? You have to turn around at some point, right? So it's downstroke, 2 downstrokes, and 2 upstrokes, and the turning around element as well, encapsulated into one little central exercise. If you become very, very good at this, then learning everything else around it, no matter if it's 2-on-2 shapes, or the classic where you have 2 notes on the first string, 2 notes on the last, and then, these kind of shapes, then it doesn't matter what it is, then that will be, so much easier to learn, because you really master the essential challenge. So what you have left to learn when you embark on one of these is just the shape. It's just moving your fingers. But the synchronization, the timing is perfect, right? Right off the bat. That's the power of learning something central. Instead of moving around here, learning a little of this and a little of that, just home it into, what is this really about? What do I need to become good at? Create a loopable exercise, and then let me repeat that hundreds of thousands of times while I entertain myself doing other things. That's the secret. That's the process. Okay, and anyone can do that. So whenever everybody asks you, how did you learn to do that? Well, the essence of it, I did it a lot of times. But you didn't do just anything a lot of times. You did the most central, the most impactful, the most powerful thing a lot of times, right? So there are other exercises as well, of course, but this is the most central. This is absolutely the best thing you could be spending time on when you're practicing sweep picking, right? And then if you want to do 3 notes per string, and then do a sweep picking string shift, and then do 3 notes again, and then a sweep picking string, then you can do that. Because now you master the sweep picking string shift. Right? And now you're playing directional picking. Oops. Or economy picking, right? But that's not economy picking. Just leave. If you mix sweep picking and other techniques closely enough, it totally dissolves this sweep picking or economy picking. It's just going from string to string using 2 consecutive or 2, right? Same thing. I hope I'm not sounding condescending here, but it's just, we just have to figure out, what are we really doing? What is this really about? And then focus on the core thing. And you will move so quickly forward. Like, everybody else around you is going to look like turtle speed development, because you have that focus, because you've really, take your lens, your magnifying lens, and then you take the rays of the sun and just concentrate it into one little point, and then you repeat it so many times that you burn a hole through your brain so you can never unlearn it again, instead of trying to go out here in the peripheral area of learning and just trying all kinds of things like 99.999% of all people do. And that's why it seems so hard to master this instrument. So, have fun with it. And go to guitarmastery.net and download the tabs if you need to.